The thing I remember about this band is that they were coming and coming and coming and never quite made it. And really, this first album is late on in the new wave of British heavy metal period, but it is a band who were right in that new wave of British heavy metal time. Why do I know? Because I was there, folks, along with many others, and I remember them being covered in Kerrang many, many times, but never really covered in glory. Kerrang were often, if I remember rightly, being a bit tongue-in-cheek about them because they were right on the scene. They were sleazy. They really wanted to make lots of bands did. They wanted to be signed and all of that. They wanted to make an effect. And for many years, well, certainly 3 years, they didn't get anywhere. This is, of course, Wrathchild. And this is the first album, Stack Attack. Double K. Yes. They were sleazy and they weren't exactly dressed down new wave of British heavy metal feel. They were sleaze and glam and very much influenced, I would expect, by Hanoi Rocks, although I don't remember them ever saying that. This album is produced by Robin George, and it's a bit sort of, you have to turn it up, it's a bit muted, and the guitars are a little bit like dentist drills, when really they should be getting right into your pleasure centres, and they're not quite managing to get to your cochlea, you know. Oh no, they're not near the cochlea, dear. No. So this album is one I haven't heard since 84, 85, and it's just great. Their big hit was a cover from a glam rock icon of the 70s, who's not to be mentioned now. But this album's it's a really great blast from the past. Really good. Stack Attack itself is a Shack Attack. There's something else. This is Stack Attack. And it's the bass really comes through on this quite muddy sound. They sound like, or rather, Zieg Zieg Sputnik sound like them. Remember that? Remember them? They were not very good, but they were much better before you heard the music than after you heard the music. And in a way, that's what Wrathchild were like, because they made a lot of column inches before they'd got tracks out, before they got an album out, they had an EP out. The music, I mean, although it's fun, it doesn't make you think, well, these deserve to be huge. Never think that. There are lots of gang choruses here, lots of shouted choruses. It's a little bit punky and new wave, that first track, the title track. But the easy-to-like riff in Too Wild to Tame is followed by such a cowbell hammer in the classic rock solo, which is very nice, that you almost can't hear the solo. There's far too much cowbell hammer. And I like cowbell. I like cowbell, folks. Now, shocker, double K, has those dentist drill guitars again. It is sleazy, and in a way you could say it's proto-hair metal, or glam metal, you know, with those gang shouts and a groovy solo. It is the best thing here. It's really good. But then Kick Down the Walls has a Hanoi Rocks, really good time, falling out of the marquee feel to it, with a spiky solo. And Sweet Surrender, again, is Michael Monroe, Andy McCoy and the boys. It's a highlight on this album. I really enjoyed it, but it's not the kind of album where you think we've been waiting for so long for Wrathchild to release something, and it was well worth the wait. I remember at the time thinking, well, okay. I preferred it when they had stories written about them rather than when they were creating the stories through music, because we were building up to it, and now it's not ideal. But listening again, I really enjoyed it. So many years ago, folks, towards the end of new wave of British heavy metal, but I'll say again, absolutely part of it. Stack Attack. Do-do-do-do-do-do. Ta-ta.